Declaration and Resolves of Continental Congress 2009. In defense of a free people, the time has come to reassert our God-given natural rights and cast off tyranny. Let the facts reveal the federal government of the United States of America was instituted to secure the individual rights of our citizens and instead now threatens our life, liberty, and property through usurpations of the Constitution. Emboldened by our own lack of responsibility and due diligence in these matters, government has exceeded its mandate and abandoned those founding principles which have made our nation exceptional. Our servant government has undertaken these unconstitutional actions in direct violation of their enumerated duties to the detriment of the people's liberty and the sovereignty of our republic. Over many years and spanning multiple political administrations, the people who have, in good conscience, attempted to deliberate our grievances and voice our dissent against these offensive actions through both petition and assembly have been maligned and ignored with contempt. The people of the several states of Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming, justly alarmed at these arbitrary and unconstitutional actions, have met as citizen delegates and sat in a General Congress in the city of St. Charles, Illinois, whereupon we, as these citizen delegates, have gathered in defense of divine justice, liberty, and the principles of limited government, now stand in clear recognition of the supreme law of the land, the Constitution for the United States of America. Therefore, we demand that government immediately reestablish constitutional rule of law, lest the people be forced to do so themselves. And we hereby serve notice that in the defense of freedom and liberty, there shall be no compromise to which we shall ever yield.
No compromise on principle, no compromise when it comes to our rights and property. Think of the millions of folks, including members of the armed forces, who have raised their right hand and said, I, Michael Badnarik, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to do the same, that I take this obligation freely and without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter, so help me God. There are literally millions of people who have already taken that oath. Millions of people who have come before us to defend these principles of liberty and freedom. It is now basically our responsibility to defend those same freedoms. Basically, the script has me to describe some of these violations to the Constitution. The Constitution of the United States has been violated over many administrations across all branches of government and by both political parties. Each and every violation of the Constitution has a devastating and undermining effect on our economy, our people, our families, our way of life, and our national reputation, our prosperity. prosperity and our future. For decades, our government has been meddling in the internal affairs of other countries without any constitutional authority, causing foreign nationals to direct their hostilities towards us, which has given us a war on terror and a growing police state that is repugnant to the Fourth Amendment and the general welfare of free people. For decades, we have had undeclared wars in violation of the War Powers Clause of Articles 1 and 2. We are now gifting and lending public money and credit to private corporations for decidedly private purposes, corporate welfare, without any constitutional authority whatsoever. We have a fiat currency in violation of the money clause of Article 1. We have been emitting trillions of dollars worth of bills of credit through and under the auspices of the Federal Reserve System in violation of Article 1. We have been incurring trillions of dollars worth of debt for the payment of expenditures for the programs and activities that are not enumerated in Article 1 and therefore not authorized. Basically, to summarize, Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution gives the federal government limited authority. If the government of the United States is doing anything not listed in Article 1, Section 8, it is, by definition, unconstitutional. And I'm very sad to say that when I started studying the Constitution 28 years ago, my first conclusion was that most of what the government does is unconstitutional. Most of what the federal government does is unconstitutional. I find that unconscionable and totally unacceptable.